Eric Ravilious was a British artist. He was born in 1903 in London, but moved to Eastbourne as a young child with his family. Most of his work responds somehow to landscape, particularly the Sussex landscape. He was particularly taken with Newhaven. It really tapped into his interest in those man-made aspects of the landscape, the kind of the industry, the ships, the boat building. He did several trips to Newhaven over the years, lots of painting trips, and he later visited with Edward Borden in 1935. They stayed at the Hope Inn, just on the beach down here, and that was a really successful trip for Ravilious. Because of Ravilious' connection to Newhaven, there's a really strong body of work that we have in the Towner collection that we were really aware should be shared with people more widely and actually should be seen in the context of the place it was made in. So we really wanted to bring some of those works to Newhaven, and this billboard project seemed like the perfect way through that connection with contemporary artists who were inspired both by Ravilious and by contemporary Newhaven, and bringing those together here, literally alongside each other, with one Ravilious work and one artist response.
Eric Ravilious is an artist that I've loved for many years, so it was a huge honour to be asked to work on this project following Ravilious in Newhaven. And it totally lends itself to my way of working because I make recreations of old master prints, but from a contemporary perspective using photography. I used the Ravilious' painting of the Channel steamer leaving harbour as a kind of map and a guide, and then I'm taking photographs all around the town to build up my own interpretation of the picture, but about Newhaven today. What I wanted to do is capture some of the excitement that I think Eric Ravilious did in his painting. It's quite a theatrical feel of twilight with the floodlights from the city, but also the lights from the cabin, bright, shining out. And when I was here, there was a beautiful full moon, so that's in there as well. So it's about nature and the artificial lighting, and it created beautiful ripples in the water. So all of that is kind of in there, but it also has the industry, but also some of the romance as well of travel.
Well, when we think about industry now, we think about environmentalism and we think about our kind of impact on the landscape. So I wanted to think about something which is aesthetically very different to Ravilious'. I was really interested in this sort of idea that to see this landscape in itself was something very lucky or very special. And in a way there seemed to be a kind of conflict between that and this kind of quite harsh landscape. And also I'd been reading around some of the kind of controversy and local protest around the building of the Energy Recovery Centre. So it now reads, "Blessed are the eyes that see what we see." So I wanted it to be about this kind of like contemporary aspect. You know, the piece in a way is a kind of provocation to say, actually, well, yes, we can celebrate this landscape, we want to love this place, but also there's a consequence to the kind of industry that we have here. The scale of it, in a way, has to kind of compete with this infrastructure. So I do like to work at this kind of big scale, and in a way it's always been about give a kind of visual form to a kind of disembodied voice. I like the idea as well that, you know, you go past it one day, you feel a certain way, something's happened, you get a certain reading of it, another day it's a different thing, you know, the sun's not shining. So it's important for me that there's a kind of level of ambiguity.
I painted Newhaven a lot. This painting was actually done from tide mills, and it was a lovely sunny day, and I came here with my friend Jane, and she said, well, I've had enough, I'm going in the sea. I did a whole load of sketches, and I went back to the studio, just painted the whole thing off, you know, in a moment. It's a huge honour to be put aside such a good artist as Ravilious, and such an important artist. When I did this painting, aren't we lucky to be able to see such beautiful things on a lovely day? It's a lovely thing with this painting to think, as you leave England, you'll see my painting. You know?